Welcome to this short tutorial video on integers. Now, the definition of an integer is a whole number. It can be positive, negative, or zero. Okay, there's my definition just there. And today in this session, we are going to learn, what we are learning today is what is an integer, where are they used, and what are their values. I'll put a nice question mark at the end there. Alrighty, so we are, first of all, describing what an integer is, and we've already said an integer is a whole number. It can be positive, negative, or zero. So when I say whole number, it could be the number 2, it could be the number 100, it could be 1 million or a billion. And indeed, it also could be in the negatives. It could be negative 20, negative 10. But the reason I'm saying whole number is that it cannot be a fraction of a number or a decimal. So unfortunately, sad to say, a half is out of the question, 0.1 out of the question. Even if it's a billion and 0.1, a billion 0.1, unfortunately, that is out. It is not a whole number, and therefore it doesn't count as an integer. We've been having a look at integers in our lovely coordinates last week. You can see there that the integers stretch from 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0, and also into the negatives, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. And similarly, on the x-axis, we go all the way down to negative 6. All of these coordinates are integers because they are whole numbers. They're not decimal points, they're not fractions. So when I say they're a whole number, you need to make sure that you're not using fractions or decimals. All right, let me get rid of this one just here, because the idea behind integers is we need to figure out their values, okay? So once you've figured out that only whole numbers are integers, you also need to work out their values. It says there right at the end, what are their values? Where are they used? Normally they're used, as I've already shown, in the coordinates, but also they're used in temperature quite a bit. Often in cold countries, the temperature will drop below 0 and head to negative 1, negative 2, or even down to the double figures negative, so negative 10, negative 11. Particularly in the northern hemisphere, especially in Iceland and Norway, they'll be heading towards big negative degrees. So that's where we use those whole numbers, those integers, primarily used in temperature. I've got my number line here, and again, the quiz is going to test you on which are the higher numbers. So when I say higher, your job, of course, is to work out which one has a greater value. So if I said, you know, what's higher, is 20 higher or the number 2 higher, you know straight away that on a number line, when you're looking at it, the number 2 sits just at the start of a number line after 0, and the number 20 is way higher on a number line. So the correct answer here would indeed be the number 20 over there. I'll cover that one up. But yeah, essentially number 20 is higher. And the same goes for when we are looking at negative numbers, okay? So even though a negative number looks higher, unfortunately, it is not a greater value. So what's higher now, negative 20 or 2? All right, we'll zoom in on a number line, and I can see that negative 20 is way, way down here, and 2 is way up here. So this one here, the greater number, the biggest number is 2. Even though negative 20 sounds like it's bigger, because it's lower down in the number line, technically speaking, 2 is a higher number. And you can see that when you're counting, you've got lots of numbers before you get to 2 that are after negative 20. So even if it was negative 2, and I asked you which is higher, you can see that negative 20 is way below negative 2. So negative 20 way down here, and negative 2 just there. All right, let's go for this question here. Which one is a higher value? Or which one is higher? Which one is the higher number? And I'll put my number line just on a nice all the way across. All right, here are my 3 numbers, and your job is to select them. You can pause the video or indeed have a think about it. So the number 0 is on your list this time. The number -4 and the number 3. Okay, so there are 3 numbers just here, -4, 0, and 3. And pause this video if you want. Have a think about which is the greater value, which is higher. All right, so the highest number there, I'm looking at my number line, -4 is there, 0 is here, and 3 is there. So the highest number is 3. Well done if you got it. All right, one more question, and then you can get onto the quiz. Have a go yourself. Which one is higher this time? I've got the number -7, I've got the number 3, and I've got the number -20. Okay, so again, -20 looks high, -7 looks a little bit lower, 3 looks way low because it's only 3. Let's have a look at our number line and see which one is the highest number when we look at our number line. So -20 is all the way down here, so that's going to be the lowest number, technically speaking. It's lower than 3. It's certainly lower than -7 as well. So -7 is just here. So -20 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 below -7. So -20 is not the highest. -7 is just here. But then 3 is here on our number line. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 above -7. So the highest number here would be the number 3. Now, of course, you're thinking this is bigger or this is bigger. They're higher, and if they didn't have the negative with them, they would be higher. But because they're negative, their value, technically speaking, is lower than a positive number. So 3, in this instance, would be the highest number. Have a go at the quiz. See if you understand which of the numbers are integers and also which of the numbers are higher when you've got a couple of options. Good luck.